What's up guys and welcome back to another episode of La Liga Career Mode. This is episode number 53 and we're starting today's episode off on the back of our massive win over Espanyol with a draw for the Champions League last 16 where Granada have got. The old lady. Juventus taking a trip to Andalusia for the first leg and then returning to Turin for the second. And I'll be totally honest here. I think we can take them. I really do. And of course, because we finished runners-up, we knew we were going to take on a group winner. Of course, we couldn't have Barcelona, who topped their group as they're a Spanish side like us. We obviously couldn't face Liverpool that are in our group. I lose to the teams that finished top, and obviously, you know, major European teams, just like Juventus are as well. But I genuinely felt when the tie was drawn, there wasn't that fear. Like, when you're doing your first season in Europe and you go into the knockout rounds and you get drawn against a European giant, there wasn't that fear. There ordinarily is. I genuinely felt we could take them, but it is worth pointing out as I extend the contract of Ricard. He's our third choice right back, in his mid-20s now, but to be fair, 76 overall, I quite like him as a squad player. To be fair, it is worth pointing out, last year we had Atalanta and Roma in our Europa League knockout rounds. We came for Atalanta, but lost the second leg in Bergamo, and then we took on Lazio, and we lost the second leg in Rome as well. Sorry, we had Roma. Sorry, not Lazio. We had Roma, and we lost to Roma in Rome as well. So the two times we've gone to Italy, they were both in the second leg of our European ties last season, and we lost them both. So last season we beat Atalanta and we beat Roma both at home, but we lost the reverse leg. So that's the biggest thing for me. I'm thinking about Juventus and genuinely feeling as though after this season, what a campaign we're having, what a campaign this guy's having. Antonio VR putting us a goal up here against Real Valladolid, top versus bottom this game in La Liga. So certainly saw it as a bank. We were 1-0 up and then Crepin Diatta scored our second on the stroke of the half-time mark. I do feel as though we can take Juve. I do. But because of our record in Italy, played 2, lost 2, and that second leg to Roma, we got destroyed 4-0, and that's what put us out of, or was it 4-1? I think it was 4-1 actually. But that put us out of the Europa League last season in the last 16. I do feel that the first leg, once again, as important as it is not going to be as important when we return to Turin. We've lost both times we travelled to Italy. If we lose again, well, we're probably going out in the last 16. Anyway, before we get there, that comes in February. The first game today was indeed Real Valladolid, top versus bottom. And you know, sometimes in FIFA career mode, these are the toughest games to win. But in this game, oh, mate, Antonio with one of the assists of the series. The little flick through to Luis Milla. I don't know if you noticed it initially, but he also went through the legs of Randy and Teka. He nutmegged his own teammate to find Mia for the assist to add to the goal he scored in the first half. He hit the crossbar with 22 minutes to go. And there's no doubt about it, after scoring goal number 21 this season, getting yet another assist to extend his lead at the top of the assist table right now, the position change from LW to CAM. I mean, I was umming and ahhing. I was, I don't know, very indecisive, as I often am, you know. I have to say, great decision, no doubt about it, because this year he is on course to win the Golden Boot, and I very briefly mentioned it recently. I don't want to talk about it too much, but based on his goal-to-game ratio, he actually has a chance at getting to the magic 40 that I've only ever done twice before. But even so, he set up one, he scored one, as did Nteka, as did Diatta, in what was a 4-0 victory against Real Valladolid. And that now means as we enter the winter break, Granada, after 14 games in a row in all competitions without defeat, have now gone 5 points clear at the top, with Atletico in second, with 6 clear of Barca and Sociedad, and 8 clear of Almeria, who had a surprise package this season. But the big surprise is, of course, Real Madrid in 7th place outside of the European spots. It's really, really interesting to see that after 3 straight years of winning the La Liga title, well, this season, they look as though they're going to lose it. And they're going to lose it badly without a fight. Long way to go, of course, though. And this is Real Madrid, so you can't rule them out, of course. Doxy, have you not seen what happened last season in the Champions League? These guys don't know how to give up when coming from behind. Even so, as January would open, Nasor VR is indeed leading the way in the race to the Golden Boot and the assist title right now. Duvan Zapata of Atletico Madrid is the closest threat to him right now, only a few goals behind, so very close goal race right now for the Golden Boot winner. Luis Suarez, man, I can't believe it. Like, seriously, 3 straight years finishing runner-up, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And I talked about it this season, I was like, oh, this is going to be year Suarez wins the Golden Boot. If anything, his teammate might win it instead of him, poor old Suarez. But even so, you see our fixtures coming for January. As the window does open, well, we've got some huge bids to start January off here for some key players as well. One for Jerome Onguene, but I like him as our 4th choice centre-half, so we're turning that one down. One for Pablo Maffio, which we're also turning down. Chelsea putting in a £41 million bid plus Callum Hudson-Odoi for our teenage wonder kid. Of course, that was getting turned down, and how about this? A massive £128 million bid for Luis Suarez. Also turned down. Bayern Munich looking for their Lewandowski replacement. It's not going to be Suarez. In the prime of his career right now, whilst he hasn't scored as many goals this season as he did the past 3, well, that's because he's taken a back seat to Antonio Villar. He's still a key member of our side, and right now still injured. I am not selling him to anyone. Absolutely not. Also, Calderon has come back from Ibrox as well. Do you remember him? Back in Season 1, he came out of the academy with VR, and I was like, these two look like my best academy prospects here. Calderon, we decided to loan out for 2 years. He went to Rangers to play in Glasgow, and he has been toughened up by the Scottish Giants. That's incredible development, and I love it. I must say now, FIFA and EA have definitely done a really good job with loans over the past couple of years or so, because back in the day, loaning out your players was almost impossible. You know, it was such a difficult thing to do because players for some reason just refused to leave on loan. They didn't want to do so. It was hard to get loan offers as well. And when players would go out on loan, sometimes they wouldn't develop. They'd just stay as they are. But I do feel as though now loans are getting a little bit more realistic. Maybe not as much as they need to be. Sometimes the clubs that put loan offers in are really, really bizarre. But even so, for the likes of Calderon there, he's grown to 79 overall at his time at Ibrox. And I can only imagine the reason why is because he's getting first team football at Glasgow Rangers. And of course, he wouldn't have that here. So that shows the benefit of loans. And sometimes they'll work that way. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes you'll loan a player out and he'll grow very slowly, as he would if he was in your team just as a reserve player. But sometimes they work in your favour, like Calderon there, coming back 79 overall and now has a place to play in our first team squad. He wouldn't have had that had he not had the loan spell. Even so, following game, 2nd of 3, Celta Vigo away. This is the game where last season, I talked about it, at this ground we basically lost the title. There was no way we were going to catch Real Madrid after we lost here, and that was the start of our 4-game winless run at the end of the season. They saw Real crowned champions and us drop to 3rd. Celta Vigo took the lead through Abel Ruiz, but what a response. Suarez said before the game he was feeling better. He wanted to play, coming back from that injury. What a decision. And this is why we turned down that big bid from Bayern Munich. Yeah, VR is our top scorer this year, but Suarez is our top scorer to save. Yep, scores both goals. We turn the game on its head. VR with both assists, of course, the dynamic duo linking up once again. We were leading by a goal. Maffio then hit the woodwork from a chip as we were still leading by 1. I was 7 minutes on the clock, aiming to get a big win here and try and extend the gap at the top. Borja Iglesias latches onto a loose ball 8 yards from goal and half volleys it past Maximiano. Final score in Vigo, Celta 2, Granada 2, and a big slip up there away from home. And you know, I mentioned it a lot, like if you want to win the title in a very competitive division when you're not one of the traditional big teams yourself, these are the games you've got to win. I mean, these are the games you've got to win. You cannot afford a slip up, whether you're away from home or at home, against a side who, let's be honest here, 9 times out of 10 you should be expecting to beat. So frustrating game that one. I will be honest, Celta Vigo made that such a tough game. There are certain teams in FIFA career mode that I just really struggle against this year. Celta Vigo are one of them. Lost to them 4-1 last season. This time very balanced game. Could have gone either way. 2-2 probably the right result with a draw. Still, 3rd and final game. And talking to teams that I can't beat in FIFA career mode. Oh god, when I saw these guys got promoted back to La Liga, I was like, oh man, no, I don't want to face them again. But we did beat them away in the Balearic Islands 3-2 in the reverse fixture at the start of the season. So taking them on back in Andalusia here, aiming for our first back-to-back wins against Mallorca since the save began in a single season. Well, they had the first chance of the game, but 8 minutes before the break as we aim to respond and get back to winning ways here. Luis Suarez back in the team from injury. Has he lost a step? Absolutely not. VR feeds him through, and for all three of his comeback goals, VR got the assists. Yep, the dynamic duo, once again, clicking, firing all assists. They're a package deal. You can't have one without the other. That's how it works. Granada 1, Mallorca 0. Suarez with goal number 11 for the season. We would see 5 minutes after the restart, Jan Bryce going for a header and going down. Fortunately, I knew for sure it would just be a bruise, though, based on the animation. And on the stroke of the hour mark, you're a chance to make it 2-0. Once again, VR with the creativity, rolling through Randy and Teka off the bench for Suarez, and our French forward makes it 2. Antonio VR's got more goals and assists this season, first time ever, but he's still our main source of creativity as well. Yep, 4 assists in 2 games for Antonio. Might not got a goal, but back to his best in terms of creativity. 2-0 the final score, we beat Mallorca, and maybe I've laid the ghost now. Maybe I've put this curse to bed. The Mallorca curse, maybe it's over now. Back-to-back victories, at least I certainly hope so. 2-0 the final score, though, big win, and a slip up against Celta Vigo was disappointing, but it is now 16 games in a row in all competitions without defeat, and because of the win there and Atletico Madrid faltering, you'll see by the league table here as confirmation of Teke's injury is just a bruise. We've now gone 6 points clear of Barcelona, who jump into second, and we're 7 clear of Atletico and 8 clear of Sociedad. Madrid trying to gain steam, they're 10 points behind, but for now, 18 games to go, we're still in pole position. But that will end today's episode of La Liga Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you hadn't, please drop a like. Most love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of La Liga Career Mode. Don't miss it, guys. One of the wildest episodes of FIFA 22 Career Mode you'll ever see, and I'll see you for it very soon.